Hi, I'm Dr. Evelyn, your naturopathic doctor and traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. In this video, I want to share my story of how I recovered and reversed my own PCOS so that if you're struggling with some of the things that I struggled, like weight gain, mood swings, infertility, irregular periods, maybe this can help you too. So, when I was a teenager, I actually never had a regular period, ever. And I went to multiple OB-GYNs and they all told me that I would grow out of it. Eventually, when I was 19, I actually ended up in the hospital with an unexplained hemorrhage for 5 days. I was given two blood transfusions and no explanations. To this day, I have my own theories, but nobody has been able to explain to me why I had that hemorrhage. Eventually, by the end of those 5 days, I was given high dose estrogen to stop the bleeding and a diagnosis of PCOS. For those who don't know what that is polycystic ovarian syndrome, where you have cysts in your ovaries and some other related hormonal dysregulations that typically include things like weight gain, infertility, and things like male pattern hair growth. Now, I was given high dose hormone treatment for 6 months, which was terrible. My skin broke out. It gave me like mood swings. It was awful. And after those 6 months, I then was given birth control pills for life. A few years later, when I was 23, randomly at passing from an acquaintance, I heard that he was doing this paleo diet. Now, I've had people do diets in my life before. I knew people who were vegetarian, vegan, who were doing weight loss diets. None of those ever made any sense to me. It did not make sense to starve yourself to be healthy. It did not make sense to eat only plants to be healthy. So I really never tried any dieting. Now, when I heard of this paleo diet, which was in the context of anthropological research, in the context of what our ancestors were eating who didn't have a lot of these diseases, it was the first time that something made sense to me. So, as is my nature, I dived deep into it. I started researching it. And within a month or two, I completely changed my lifestyle, completely changed my diet. And I decided to find a doctor that was familiar with the way I was eating, because a lot of the recommendations were completely against the traditional dietary guidelines. You had to cut all grains, cut a lot of carbs, and at the time, the bottom of the pyramid was all grains. So I wanted to find a doctor who was familiar with the things that I was reading. And all I could find were naturopathic doctors, which at the time, I did not know what that was. So I found one, I worked with her. We did a lot of testing, found out that I was not ovulating at all. She gave me a little bit more guidance on nutrition, gave me some supplements, some other lifestyle things, and slowly but surely, I started regaining my period. I got my period back, and my numbers on the blood test, on the hormonal test that I was getting every so often, were starting to improve. And the more I improved, the more I learned, the more my passion changed. And I went back to school to get my naturopathic degree, which I have now, and I completed a master's in traditional Chinese medicine also, and continuously refined my knowledge and my lifestyle. And at the age of 29, I was able to get pregnant really without any issues. And then again at age 34. Now, I credit that to the fact that I spent so many years reversing my PCOS so that I wouldn't land in the hospital again. And I'm basically symptom free and medication free. And I wanted to just share this with you because if you're experiencing something similar, if you've been diagnosed with PCOS or really any other hormonal disorder, hypothyroid, diabetes, I just want you to know that your body's not broken. A lot of these symptoms are actually ways of your body to protect you from your environment. Something in your environment is telling your body it's not the time to get pregnant. Something in your environment is disrupting your health. But the good news is that you actually have a lot of power over that environment. You have a lot of power over the health of your body, of your hormones, of your energy and your system. So I'm hoping that this story maybe encouraged you to dig a little deeper and to take that first step to learn and to make those changes that you need to make to restore your health and your fertility. So if you want to learn more from me, if you have any questions, If you want to know where to start, you can always join my free school community where I'm building a course on healing your hormones naturally. Hope to see you there, or I'll see you in the next one.